Hello, I'm Josie and I'm building myself a little home in this bus named Beau. And in this video, I will be taking you along with me as I build my dream little cottage kitchen. So let's go. Bus off with Josie. So let me show you the space that I'm working with. This right here is my blank canvas. I have already done the walls, the ceiling and the floor. They're not completely done. And this is me just being a silly sausage, but it does give you a really good sense of the size of the space. I thought I'd keep it in, you know. Keep it real. Let's discuss design. And I have so many ideas. I have sketches, I have doodles, I have cardboard cutouts. Let's go. I definitely want a cottage kitchen vibe. That I know for certain. The thing is, with a van or a bus, it's a rectangular shape, right? So essentially when you put things in either side, it automatically creates a corridor feel, which is exactly the opposite of what I want. Ideally, I'd be working with a square space, but I can't exactly change the shape of my vehicle. So, using what I've got, I'm going to try and create a square-ish space for my kitchen. And my plan goes something like this. So a good tip to check if your design layout works without too much of a faff or effort is just to rearrange your furniture.
So this sofa, and this is the L-shaped sofa that I'm working on now. This is a kitchen cabinet, which will go up to the mantelpiece. Those two things are kitchen cabinets too. Maybe that's the fire, actually. Anyway, so that means I can go in this bit, turn around in my space. It's quite spacious, actually.
Once I was happy with the design in my head, I then decided to use cardboard boxes and mock out the layout idea that I had inside the empty bus itself, just to check it worked all right.
And then I'm in the kitchen. So this is my kitchen. The countertops goes all the way around. And then these are the storage at the top. I actually run out of boxes, so I couldn't do storage all the way down, but you get the idea. And then this bit would open up. Right now I'm gonna have to crawl through it. Just gonna crawl underneath my countertop because it doesn't flip up. I'm not that clever to, yeah, I could have maybe if I tried. Anyway, so now I'm through. It would have just been through this countertop, lifted up, lifted down. And now I'm into my like corridor bit, the only bit that is a corridor. And I can fit with my arms out the side, just. And on this side will be the toilet. Quick peek in there. Actually quite big. But on this side, behind my driver's seat, is going to be the shower, and that is a bit, I don't know if you can even see.
With the layout design check done, now it was on to building my dream little kitchen.
I'm building this side today. This side's done. This is where the oven and the hob is going to go. This is actually a water heater that's going to be attached to the outside. Yes, I'm just building a frame. My sink's going to go above here.
So I've gone for 2x4 size batten to use as my framework, which apparently is quite big for a van build. However, I really like that chunky look that it gives. I feel like it's more rustic and cottagecore. / I have a 7.5 ton bus here, so I don't have to necessarily worry too much about weight. Screwing in like a million screws because I do not want this bad boy to collapse. The hardest thing about building in a small space is having a small space to build in. Snug as a bug.
So plan is definitely going to copy this side.
So on this day, I was building the upper cabinets on the other side of the kitchen.
I reckon, I think starting from this wall, one across there is the base, and then one across there, and then building up from there, attaching into the metal. Not that, because that's flimsy. And not that, because that doesn't have anything behind it. That's the plan.
I'm unscrewing right now old framework that I'd actually made wrong. Because, you know, you don't want to waste wood, do you? So this is Nate Murphy. He's a YouTuber who was over here on this day to film yours truly for a video on his own channel. However, I ended up getting him to help me build these upper cabinets, because let me tell you now, building upper cabinets on your own is a little bit tricky. I should know I did the other side.
So, why don't we do the one on the metal first and then...
How did you find starting to use the power tools?
Nate is firing a few questions at me here. It's basically about power tools and the fact that I literally knew absolutely nothing before this van build.
Yeah, really scary. Really scary. They're just very noisy, aren't they? Now I love them, and you wouldn't want to do it with anything other than power tools, because how annoying would that be? But yeah, at first it was like, you can take a finger off. It's never good.
So easy.
It's so easily to take a finger off. I should have worn goggles. Sorry, that was naughty of me.
But you feel quite comfortable with them now?
Yeah, I love it now.
To make sure my upper cabinets are strong and sturdy and don't fall down, I'm screwing them into the metal frame of the bus. It requires a little bit of strength to push through the metal.
And then we're going to screw into, I guess, each of these metal bits and then one at the end into there. I think that's what we're doing. And this is where I need your help to hold while I screw.
Moment of truth.
Oh, a bit more on this. A bit more on this one. Okay. Snug as a bug.
Nice. So we've got back bit, extremely strong, beefy bits.
Very strong.
Josie,
Yes.
cast your mind back to when you were 16 and you were in a dance class. Do you remember Laura? The answer is yes!
So we've made the frame.
Yeah. Made the frame.
What's next? How's it going to look?
Yeah. Well, I haven't really got that far.
I'm the kind of person that does one step at a time. I'm not exactly a pre-planner. I tend to find if I look at all the tasks I have to do and pre-plan everything, then I get very overwhelmed. So I like to just stick to the task at hand. However, I have decided what this is going to look like. So I'm using painted palette wood as my overall effect in the kitchen, and I think palette wood is amazing. I mean, one, it's free. It is a bit of a ball ache. You do have to pull it apart, sand it, paint it. I mean, that can take hours, days, weeks, depending on how much you want, basically. I just found it quite easy to work with, so I'm a fan. It's free, recycled, bloody brilliant. For the underneath of my cupboards, I just went for plywood. And this is my balance on your head technique. Heads are very handy. And then I'm just shoving on, very roughly, the cheapest white paint I could find. It's mold resistant paint, which is probably a good idea. Always in a van. Probably went a bit overkill with the screws, but I do not want that bad boy falling down. On this side and the underneath cupboards, I decided to do it all in different sections, which actually proved to be a lot easier on your own, you know, rather than my balancing on the head thing. And back to my favourite palette wood. I know I'm singing the praises of palette wood, but palette wood is so good to work to, especially for a novice like me. Genuinely can cut each and every individual palette wood to a different shape and size, so I feel like the end result is very quirky and rustic, but I love that. So this idea I saw on Pinterest, and it makes your cupboards and drawers super cute. You basically line them with wallpaper. But I was looking for wallpaper and I couldn't really find anything I liked. And I found that there was much more variety in wrapping paper. So this is essentially wrapping paper. And I'm literally just shoving it on with PVA glue. It's like paper mache time in primary school. And then I cut little palette wood strips to make a border around my cupboards, cutting out some quirky shapes in plywood. A little sand down, and I pop it on the inside of my cupboard.
If I'm lucky, I might actually get on to making the doors, which feels crazy because that's like a finishing touch and I'm like, I feel a bit nervous about it. I've never made doors before. Obviously I've never made anything to do with this bus before, but the doors is like, that's the outside. Like even this is all going inside. You kind of cover it up if it goes wrong, but this is outside. Anyway, so the doors are going to make out of pallet wood. I love painted pallet wood. I think it looks really cute. Pallet wood, not that, but this is just an example. And then this stuff, can you even see? It's like speckled, it's like cream. So it'll be like little squares like this. And then one down here and one down there. So it's like rusticy. I feel like that looks quite beachy, actually. Also, with regards to these upper cabinets, you know, in all van builds, I feel like you get the ones that open up like that, upwards. And I think it makes sense for a small space because the door goes out the way. Because otherwise you've got doors everywhere. But I decided that I want doors everywhere. And I want doors. So instead of that being one big one, I want two little ones like that, and I want them to open up like.
So this is what I mean by the cupboards that are probably a good idea for van life. When you open them, the door goes up into the ceiling. Wow, look at that organisation in there. I want cupboards like that. But I think what I'm learning about myself is I sometimes go for aesthetics over practical. So I want cottagecore cupboard doors like this.
Because that's more cottagey for me.
First, I make a template for my door out of cardboard. Now I'm using my cardboard template and transferring that pattern over to a piece of plywood. Cut that out with a jigsaw. Then it's sanding the edges down to make it smooth, and then pop it where I want the door to go. Get a tape measure out and measure out where the middle will be, because you know I want two doors, so I'm going to have to cut this bad boy in half. Oh, this is a fantastic advert for wearing safety goggles. Don't do what I did. This silence here from me means that it really hurts, so yeah, should have had my safety goggles on. So continuing on, I marked out the middle, cut that in half with a jigsaw, drew little squares in the centre of these really shitty squares, and then proceed to cut them out with a jigsaw. Sanding the edges down to make them all smooth, because nobody wants splinters. And then I painted the edges white. Don't worry, I have my reasons, and you'll find out soon enough. So yeah, this is the calico fabric that I'm using to put in the middle of my squares, cutting that out roughly. And then I staple it to my plywood, and I use a surface to do this that is not on the floor. The one I did previously to this one, I actually did on the floor in my bus, and let's just say it did not go well.
The fuck? I just stapled the thing to the floor. Oh my god, I am such an idiot. Break
Okay, back to the questionable building process of these cupboard doors. Yeah, that's right, I'm banging down these staples. I mean, other people will probably saw them off, but I really don't like those tools that spark at you. And then taping over the sharp bits because, you know, ow. Better tape over them a few times. Like I said, I'm a very professional builder. what they look like right now. This is the outside. They look like utter bullshit. They look so crap. Like, look at that gap edging. I have really not done that properly. That staple gun situations is dire. I've also got to do the inside. Oh, I'm worried about this falling on my head again. Hang on. Oh, nearly. This is the inside so far. Yeah, shockingly shit, I know. So back to my wallpaper wrapping paper idea. I'm doing the exact same thing. This is the inside of my cupboard door. I'm using glue, but this time a different wrapping paper. So this is my attempt to make this door look pretty. Glue, glue, and more glue. I'm probably a bit OTT here with the glue, but anyway, I'm just slapping it on. Next up is my sanded and painted palette wood that I've already spent hours doing. Cutting that bad boy to size. Golly gosh, how many times have I said bad boy in this video? I feel like that might have been the 4th time or something. I think I really need to think of some new phrases for things. Is bad boy a particularly English phrase, maybe? Anyway, I'll brainstorm. Okay, so now I'm just painting my palette wood. I feel like my whole build should be sponsored by chalk paint because I'm not gonna lie, I love that. Oh my god, I was just about to say bad boy. Once my palette wood was cut to size, I then put those flimsy, square, crappy door things that I'd previously made, put them in the hole where they're going, and then got my palette wood, placed it on top, and then I nail gun it in. And I did it with all 4 sides until it looked something like this. It's getting better, it's not so flimsy and crappy, however it isn't finished yet. This piece right here is really pretty palette wood. I don't know why, but some of the palette wood ended up prettier than other bits of the palette wood. I kept these pretty bits to the side so that I could use them for like the face of all my cupboard doors and furniture or whatever I make with these palette wood things. Look, it's so much prettier with that on. Now it's a very layered, chunky door, from flimsy to chunky. Yesterday was a good day baking my door. But I made the door without planning the hinges situation. Oh, me? I made the door without planning the hinges, and it's been a nightmare all morning. I have been trying to fit hinges to this door. These kind of hinges like to go in here, but attaching to this bit of wood, which is the tiniest bit. Have I not learnt my lesson yet? Anyway. In the end, I managed to figure out what hinges I needed, so I got to work putting them on. Oh, look at me, I'm so happy. I cried when I first did this first door. I actually named it also Dory the Door. And then it wasn't long until I had all the rest of the doors done. I guess that first initial design and idea, when you're figuring out what you want, how you're going to do it, that's always the one that takes the longest time. But once you have that figured out, the rest of it's easy. You're just copying, basically. So I have my cupboard doors done, I've done the sides with palette wood, and now it's on to thinking about what I want for my kitchen countertops. In this build, I spent quite a lot of money on the gadgets and things like that. I feel like you can't really get away with bodging that. However, decor, you just have to be a little bit creative. And my creativity led me to buy this shiny orange pine wood table from a charity shop. It cost me something like a tenner. Scrub it down, sand down the horrendous shiny orange colour, and then I got this bristly sanding tool for my drill, and I actually sanded down the natural grains in the wood to give it a rustic, wobbly feel. It took me a while, but the results are amazing. Like, look at that, that looks so rustic. I can't even believe it's the same piece of wood. The downside of buying things from a charity shop is that there's normally only one of that item, so the other side of my kitchen countertops, I managed to find a different table. So essentially I just had to saw off the legs. So I had some more doors to make, but this time for the underneath cabinets. I just did the same style as I did for the upper cupboards. Cut the size out in plywood, painted it white, cut a hole, put calico fabric over that, and then filled it out with pallet wood. Then Bob's your uncle and I've got a chunky door.
it's yawning.
Every kitchen, I believe, needs a pantry, and this is where I'm planning to put mine. The pantry started as a piece of plywood and 3 runners. I added more ply for the shelves, then covered the whole thing in wrapping paper to make it cute. Then all that was left to do was fix the runners. That's a little bit fiddly because you want to make them straight and there's 3 of them, but anyway, do that and then attach it. And then add a front, and this is actually leftover wood from my beautiful French sliding door in the cab area. I then added a cutlery drawer, which actually started its life out as a tray. I added runners, wallpapered the sides, added a cute handle, and extended it out the back so it's a little bit bigger. And it works quite well. I love the front of it. And now I have 3 drawers in the kitchen: the pantry, the pots and pans drawer, and the cutlery drawer. Now I'm just installing my beautiful gold kitchen taps.
Hot. Cool. Sinks in. Now I've got my drinking water, but this only came in chrome and obviously it doesn't go. So I'm going to spray paint it.
This is Kelly, and she came over to help me clean. I'm a bit obsessed with keeping the bus clean, if I'm honest. But we end up actually doing silly things like this.
I don't know the word. Me neither.
There was some cleaning involved, I promise. I just love it when my friends come to help me. I decided to make edges here made out of driftwood. I wanted to give the illusion that the kitchen countertops are really thick, chunky wood to give that rustic cottage core kind of vibe. I just glued it on and then screwed it in. It worked really well.
A piece of wood to match the other branch. So strong. Let's hope I can screw this one in as well.
On the other side, I screwed in a branch that I just picked up in a park, and I made shelving out of it, which looked really cool and rustic. Didn't film anything, but anyway, I wanted the 2 sides to match, so I thought I needed to get another piece of wood and screw it in as well. Definitely gives it a boho vibe.
Yeah, so I'm trying to install this there, but I think I've done this in the wrong order. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have installed this until I've installed this. Anyway, you live and you learn. Here we go, bashing it comes.
I'm using pallet wood for a backsplash that runs around all the sides of my kitchen.
Let's just hope it's the right size so I don't have to get it out.
And this is me just trying to fit it in behind the stick that I've just installed.
Look at that. Perfecto. Perfect fit.
Time for tiling, and I just wanted to say a big thank you to Fiona, my mum's next door neighbour, who gave me these tiles for free that I just had to cut in half with the tile cutter, and I'm sticking them onto the pallet wood backsplash with wood glue. They're really beautiful, wobbly, kind of rustic tiles. And once grouted, it was bloody gorgeous and looked like it had always been there. You'll be pleased to know that we're on to finishing touches. So this spice rack I bought right at the beginning of my build in a charity shop. However, it really was the wrong colours for my bus. So I asked my very talented friend Danny Ryan, who's an artist, to paint it for me. And it turned out so beautiful. It definitely is a feature in the kitchen.
So there's a lot of more things I want to add into the kitchen. So at the moment, this is what I've just walked into. I've obviously got little hooks for my pots and pans that battle around. When I'm driving, I take all of that down and I have like a drawer that they just go in. I just like the cluttered kind of look. I have this lid that I cut that goes on top of the sink. Not like that. Just because I had that down. Like so. Can you see that? That sits like snugly on there.
This is my chopping board. This is so gorgeous and I want to show it off. I've naturally been putting the chopping board like that. That's my soap, which I put up. This is my water heater behind there and my light switch. It's a cute little corner. However, I was originally going to be putting this. Oh, sorry. I was originally going to be putting this in my head, like here, like that, and then I was thinking of putting my like washing up liquid and, you know, like all stuff like that, like in here, so it's just like a place for it. I still want to use this because obviously this is really useful, but if I do put that there, I won't have a space for that, and this won't be able to go up there either. Thought maybe I could put this and I could drill it through on my windowsill. What are we saying about that? I've added it in. I literally just did a little screw. You can see it, one there and another one down there. Just shoved some fake plants in there. That bottle's not very nice at the moment, but I'm sure I'll change it. So, oh. I'm trying to like sort out a little bit. I feel like I'm just a floating head. My this area, I've got so much stuff to put in, and as much as like no clutter looks great, it's probably not realistic for me. I know other people do it, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. So I've got a bread bin is the first challenge. I found it in a charity shop and I was thinking it looks like it fits perfectly there, but it's very like in the middle of the space a bit, or maybe like this side. I have this, which is my utensils pot, really cute. I also have this, 2 books binded together. I really like this idea. I think it's cute. I'm obviously going to drill everything in as well, so it's not like crazy flying around when I'm driving. I don't know how I'm going to attach those books. Does that look okay? Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. And then what else we got? Oh, I've got the classic screw-on top things. Maybe these at the front. Anyway, this is what I'm doing this evening. That does feel a bit scary to put glass like that. I don't know, do they want to be in a line or do they want to be staggered?
And after I fitted all those knickknacks and bits and bobs, my kitchen was finally complete. And here it is.
Thank you so much for watching my kitchen build video. Any questions or anything like that, you can pop into the comments and I'll get back to you. If you want to see anything else or are interested in any other parts of the build, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Bus Off with Josie. There'll be more build videos coming, a tour video, and then my life as I move full time into the bus and travel the UK this year and then hopefully the world. I also have an Instagram, bus.off.josie, and a TikTok. Thanks again for being here. Hopefully see you soon.
Bus Off with Josie.